What's going on, guys? Deer season is upon us, 2023. I got 2 weeks and gonna be back up here in North Dakota. We've been up here the last 3 years. Cameron and I flew up this weekend just to pretty much get some scouting done. With the last 3 years, we've had really good success up here, but we just haven't taken any inventory. So this year I took it upon myself to come up here, put some cameras out, really get some boots on the ground and really get some miles. And I'm just gonna cover some ground the next couple days to see what we got. We got public, we also got some private. So I stopped on a feed store on the way in, picked up some corn and some attractant. Gonna try to put some stuff out to try to just get some inventory. Got cameras ready to rock and roll for tomorrow. Got solar panels, got everything ready to go. But tonight my objective is to cover ground, take the camera, take the camcorder, GoPro, and just document everything that I'm going to cover tonight and just see what I can drum up if I can get on some good deer. But stay tuned, stay with me. And hopefully you guys can follow along and we can get on some really good deer tonight. All right, so just to go over my gear, what I'm taking tonight. So I got a Canon G40 that I'm running. I'm gonna use that pretty much the whole time to zoom in. If I got some bucks kind of staged up and some deer that don't really get me that quick, I'll pull out the camera. I'm running a Sony a7 III with a 70 by 100. And then I got the GoPro, which I'm filming with now. And I got some binoculars to kind of glass and cover some ground really quickly. But just gonna try to cover some ground and hopefully get on some big deer. Our strategy in North Dakota is there's a lot of open ground, right? So a lot of ag fields. Strategically and notoriously, we have been hunting from the ground. Just pretty much glassing in the mornings, and then in the evenings we try to get as close as we can to them and where they're bedded, and just play the wind and just try to let those deer come to us. That's been the biggest success we've had in capitalizing on killing. Cameron's been 2 for 2. I've been 1 for 2, had a chance last year. But this year, I truly think with us putting in the time ahead of schedule, I think it's gonna allow us to get on some really good deer and pattern them a lot easier than scrambling for, you know, the first couple of days we get here. So we'll see what happens. Got the rental car. Going to try to get down here where we got permission to hunt, and also some public areas that we have, and just gonna try to get on some deer. All right, so sun's finally going down. We have some cloud cover. It's helping us out a lot. So I think they should move early, even though it's hot. It's 86 degrees still. But we've seen a doe and a fawn so far, and finally getting into some of our good spots on public. And then we're gonna go hit private as we get towards the later half of the night. We knocked on some doors last year at the end of the year and got some permission. So those are going to be the areas I'm going to try to focus on the way home, back to where I'm staying. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully they get up on their feet pretty early tonight, but we'll see. All right, so I got a bachelor group of 4 down here in this bottom. So first bucks I've seen. Sun just popped back out, but they just got up out of their bed to feed. So I don't think anything drastically huge, but really nice deer. So we'll see. Hey, good morning, guys. On day 2, last night was pretty good. Seen those 4 really good deer, and then they kind of fed out through the bottom there and then worked their way up to another bean field. Seen a lot of deer last night. Didn't see a huge deer, but got some eyes on some deer. I know they had a lot of snow this year, so check that out. Numbers still seem to be really good here. The sun's coming up. We're gonna try to get in back in some of these spots and glass some of these deer. A little late this morning, but I was pretty tired. So running back over here, gonna try to get on some eyes on some deer. They're gonna grab some breakfast, get some fuel in us, and then heading out the whole day to try and see if we can put some cameras out and just get some inventory and some work done. So stay tuned. I'll take you with me the whole day. See if we can find some deer this morning. Really struggling to pick up any deer. It's still really hot, so I don't know if they moved all night. Kind of already got back to their bed. I'm gonna keep driving around here for another hour and a half or so and see if we can pick one up, and then, like I said, we'll grab something to eat, so see what happens. All right, so just grabbed some breakfast. Wanted to make sure I fueled myself up for the day. It's gonna be pretty warm and got 12 cell cameras to put out probably. So I'm gonna try to take you guys along, talk about why we're putting them in these spots. We got private, we got public, and just gonna try to get as many out as we possibly can and see what happens. So I will be explaining why we're putting these cameras here, why we've had success in these spots. Crops have changed a little bit in location, but the big success we've found is if you can find water and food sources kind of right close to each other, that's kind of where those big deer tend to hold up. So that's kind of what our plans are. I'm gonna get out there, try to put as many miles on as I can today, and see what we can do. So stay tuned, it's gonna be a beautiful day, and let's get after it. All right guys, so this first spot I'm going to is a piece of private, which you can see I got corn. We're gonna head in here. I'm gonna kind of show you guys my setup and everything. Seen some really good deer here last year when we glassed, and then we got permission to hunt it. So I'm gonna put some feed down, try to get some inventory and see what shows up. All right, so I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about this first setup. So we glassed deer last year down here in this open field down here, but there's water and some bedding down here, and then we have beans all the way down through here where them deer work up this fence line right here. So I got the camera here, sun comes up over there, so the camera's gonna face this way. You got beans here, you got bedding there, and they should work up through here. I'm gonna put another camera down there to catch anything that goes the low gap there. And then you got all that standing corn right there. So these deer are gonna funnel out and hopefully go through these two fence lines right here. Easy access for them. If the wind is blowing this way, we can get kind of set up in this tree and let it blow out over the face of this corn. I figure the deer will be bedded in the back here, and they're gonna work up through. And if it's blowing out into the beans, you can sit out in the beans here on the hill and shoot back this way as the deer work from the bottom or from this side. So this is kind of our setup for the first one. Got the render ready to go. Got the solar panel on there facing the sun. We're rocking and rolling. All right, so this second camera's on private right down from number one. Got it set up. I glassed this field last year. There was a big buck right here, and then another buck came out, and then it kind of went up through here and walked right up this fence line. There's a path, a notorious path that crosses right here. So they bed right there in that, and then they have beans here this year. So I'm thinking they're gonna funnel right up through here and then work up through this way. So I've got another render and a cell camera there. Or a render and a solar panel, excuse me, and I'm going to cover this path and anything walking up this fence line. So see what happens. All right, so just got this spot set up on a piece of ground that we got permission to hunt. We got standing corn back here, and then we got millet right here. So what we're going to do is access from down here, walk up on the opposing side, and then snake in right in behind these hay bales here. And hopefully either we can sit on the ground, there's a lot of cover right here with the hay bales and stuff in the background, or we can get up in one of these trees right here and shoot out here. So a lot of the deer normally funnel out of a big bottom down here and work up through here. We got sunflowers and then corn, so should be a really awesome spot. Just got that camera set up. This is camera 4. I forgot to take you with me on camera 3. I pretty much got it set up in a spot we've had a lot of success. So put a camera there, kind of looking back into the bedding area and letting them funnel out of there is where that camera's set up. So we'll see what happens. It normally takes a couple days for these deer to get on camera. There's just so much ag and everything throughout this area, so it just takes a few days. So that's why we're doing and being a little proactive, and that's why I came out here early, so we have a jump start here in 2 weeks. All right, so camera 5 is last night I showed you guys those 4 bucks that I filmed. We didn't have permission on that, and I talked to the landowner today. They didn't give us permission again. So we have a solution. Try to get as close to those deer as possible. So that's my plan. So I got permission on the adjacent track. I don't think there's any trees, so I've got a T-post. I'm gonna zip tie cameras to it, but I'm just walking these beans. I'm walking in on the property I'm allowed, but it's just beans all the way down to the bottom, and then it probably just turns into just hay ground or grazing field. It should be a good spot, so we'll see what happens. All right, so just got camera 5 set. Kind of went off a little bit differently than what I talked about. We had that big bedding area slash cattail area that's like right down over that hill. This section here is the same landowner that we have permission to go on, but this section here has cattle on it. So didn't even want to deal with that and then messing cameras up. So came back here, which we got some bedding right here, got beans on that side, got beans on this side. So put corn there, got the render set up, solar panel T-post section, just zip tied it in there and everything. But of course I forgot the cord to go in there, so I'm gonna have to walk clear back to the truck. It's like 1,000 yards, go get that and fix that, but no big deal. It's rocking and rolling. So I'm not sure if you could hear me out there because it was super windy, but just got camera 5 set up. Was trying to get down in the bottom, and there was cattle on that section that butted up to right to where that bedding area was where them bucks came out of last night. So what I did is I came back up probably another 150 yards, got in the soybean field there that the cows can't get access to, put a camera there, forgot the solar panel cord, so I had to run back to the car, grab that, run back down there. So now I'm gonna go check out a spot that is on plots ground, which is public land open to sportsmen is what that stands for. We've had real good success on that piece, so we're gonna go over there, put some cameras up, see what shakes out, and then I'm gonna go talk to another landowner and see if we can throw some cameras up over there. He had a bunch of millet last year and we didn't have much success over there whatsoever. So he's got a lot of corn and beans this year. So we're gonna go over there, try to see if we can get permission again and see what happens. But it's only 11:46 here, so we got a lot of time left. So gonna try to get all these done. Got to get all these done, and then gonna glass this evening and do the same thing we did last night. All right, so just got camera 6 done and super pumped about this spot. We've been trying to get permission on this track. We hunted one of his farms before, but he told us we could hunt this section this year. We got a bunch of bedding, a lake, we got a giant cornfield for a long ways, but this is tucked up close to this lake. So I think these deer are gonna be bedded right here. They're gonna funnel right up through here. Got corn down for some inventory. Got a cell camera and a solar panel right there. Access in, we can get in any of these trees right here or on the ground right here. It's a ton of cover right here. Should be, I mean, literally a killer spot. But I could be wrong. We could get absolutely nothing, but hopefully we got a trail cam picture of a giant buck coming out of this corn or right up through here. Going to hang camera 7 and 8, pretty much all beans around this track. This is one of the plots properties, so we're gonna get 2 cameras set up, one down by the water area where a lot of the deer funnel out of, and then one up back up on top here where some of the deer transition through. It's a big area, so we're gonna try to cover as much area as we can. So we'll see what happens. I'm walking in right here and looks like a scrape right down along here. So I mean, got an overhanging branch kind of cleaned out right there. Not super fresh, but definitely been using it. So I'm gonna get down here a little bit and see what happens. All right, so we're tucked in really close to this bedding area. This is camera number 8, I think. We seen a really big deer here last year, and we had to leave, unfortunately. But you know, I'm walking down along here just doing some scouting and cut a pretty good track right there. So we're gonna put a camera, we'll take this T-post and put it back here behind me and see what happens. But clearly there's deer in here, and time will tell. But like I said, just trying to get the ball started so we're not doing this, you know, the first 2 days of season. All right, so just got number 9 set up. It's a lot of just CRP slash overgrown grass out here, but it's right beside a giant sunflower field and a giant like swampy slash water area. So it's kind of like a pinch point. It funnels right down. I found a path that goes right down through there. So I threw a camera up on it and we'll see what happens. I found a tree I want to get in. It's definitely a spot you can get a saddle or a tree stand in. So I'm gonna have to bring that next time. And walking back, just trying to think about where to put some more cameras. I have one other spot I want to put that I was kind of curious about at the beginning of the day. I'm gonna go back there, put a camera there just to see what's showing up. It's on the back end of kind of where camera 1 and 2 were, but that cornfield extends a good ways back there, so then deer could be coming out the back and just hitting the beans kind of in the back side of that instead of the front side, so they'll never get saw back there. So I'm gonna put a camera there on the corner and just see kind of what them deer are doing back there. Not gonna feed back there on that private spot, just gonna kind of keep right there in the middle where I put camera 1 and see what happens. All right, walking down here to do camera number 10. This is a Plots property, so like I said, public land open to sportsmen. I'm gonna put a camera down here. There's we've never hunted this track before, but we got the camera, so I'm gonna try to put them out. There's beans on the Plots property, and then there's a big ravine that ties right into corn. So I'm thinking these deer can't be seen from the road back here. So I'm gonna put a camera back here and just see, you know, what shows up. So that's kind of the Hail Mary on this track that we're gonna do. I think I got 2 more cameras to go after this one. So just gonna try to grind it out and get it done. And then we're gonna glass tonight. So trying to hurry up so we can grab something to eat and walk around a little bit. So, all right, so we got a big hill here, and you can't see any of this from any of the roads surrounding. So I got a camera right there on that old fence post that's right there. It's overlooking kind of this already baled grass here. It kind of looks like alfalfa. And then you got a big bedding area right through there. You got soybeans here, you got soybeans here, and I think they'll come right up out of here, walk right by that camera, and come mill around in these soybeans. They could cross over before they get to the camera and go behind, but it's a possibility. But like I said, most of the sign, it seems to be, is in this field crossing up through here, so should be a killer spot. But like I said, we'll see. All right, guys, night number 2, 7 p.m. heading out right now. Gonna just cover some ground again tonight. I thought about sitting stagnant and kind of just sitting in one spot, but I got so many cameras out right now, I'm gonna let them do their thing. Just gonna try to cover some ground, some area where I don't have cameras, see if I can get on some deer, and kind of go from there. I was in major need of getting some food in me, so I went back and got a rack of ribs and a salad, and yeah, so feeling pretty good now. I'm gonna go try to glass up deer for the next 2 hours, and then head back to camp, get some sleep, and then head back home. Then we'll be back in 2 weeks, so hopefully we get some inventory put together, and hopefully we see some deer tonight. So this first spot we're gonna sit or go near tonight is where I seen them 4 big bucks. So I'm going on the other side where I seen them. I'm gonna try to see if I can glass them up again, drive them by. If not, no big deal. I'm gonna keep covering some ground. Coming down into this first spot we glassed last night, gonna try to see if we can get on some deer. I think there's some cows out, so so we might try to get them back in the field there for this farmer. Hey, get back in there. Get back in there. Go, go, go. Get in there. Come on. Get in there. Get in there. There we go. There we go. See, on a day's work. Anyway, so we're gonna go glass this one spot. We're used to Cameron being here. I'm going by myself to go look at this one spot, just try to see if those bucks are back down in that drainage and see what happens. But I'm sure you guys seen my backpack I've been carrying all day, my shirt that I wear as it gets a little bit cooler in the evenings. It's made by Huntworth Clothing. They make some great gear. We've been working with them the last couple years, and I just wanted to give them a little shout out. They're great people, always looking to make some innovative products. Great people. They're not just trying to turn a dollar, they're trying to make a difference. They're open to opinions, and you know, they want to make their clothing just as good as anybody on the market. They're super affordable for the average hunter. You can't be getting an entire setup for an affordable price, and they do a great job. So I just wanted to give them a little shout out. This is their tarnin patterns. They're just good people. So we're gonna go down here and try to see what we can get done. We'll take you guys along, but hopefully it's our last night for 2 weeks, and then we're back. So I'd like to see a big one, but I just seen some cows, so it's probably the biggest I'm gonna see all night.